Hey everybody, this is Matthew Soltesiak and you're listening to Not the Same Old Lions podcast. Using my sportscasting background, I speak with a variety of guests and interview key players to gain more insight on what makes this team go. As the Detroit Lions enter a new gritty era, we'll look beyond just the kneecaps when it comes to the analysis. Welcome to another episode. In this episode, we're going to take our first look of a two-part series at the Detroit Lions hype train. That's right, this is a two-car hype train. It's getting pretty big, so maybe get on board while there's still a seat. We're about to leave the station and head to Allen Park.
Hey, this is Rob Rubik. Stay tuned for more great insight from This Is Not the Same Old Lions podcast.
There's no denying the hype train is real for the Detroit Lions. We alluded to it in our last episode, and it was even more evident during the very first day of training camp. Coach Dan Campbell was first asked about it, and here's what he had to say.
I think as always, the thing that's going to worry you is the hype train. I mean, as with most coaches, this thing is just taking off and it's out of control right now. And that's fine as long as we stay focused on the job at hand and the work. I just keep going back to that. We got to put the work in and earn it.
Acknowledging it right away. I love this. Not playing that game of acting like they don't hear it. He calls it what it is and says they need to put in the work and earn it. It sounds like fun for the fans, and I think he's all for the fans having fun with it. But he says the team needs to stay focused, and that's good to hear. Now, Coach Campbell wasn't the only one asked about or speaking about the hype train. Quarterback Jared Goff was asked about what it's like having a coach like Dan Campbell preaching that hard work throughout all of the hype.
Yeah, he's the greatest at it. Just keeping us where we need to be, and the so-called hype train is I don't know. I think it's funny to me that you go 9-8, you don't make the playoffs, and now you're all of a sudden a favorite. And it's of course we got good players, we got good coaches, we got a good team, but we ain't done anything, and we have a lot of work to do. And Minnesota won 13 games last year. Green Bay's won the division a handful of times in the last handful of years. So, we've got some work to do to put a stamp on who we want to be, and are nowhere near that yet, but are on our way.
Love how Jared has maintained this attitude. I think he said something like this a few months ago, saying something like, "We don't win games in April." It's about putting in that hard work, and Goff appears to be keeping things quite real. I can't wait to see how he looks in camp, and I can't help but wonder if Jared Goff has a level we haven't seen yet, that the NFL has not seen yet. Next up to address the train was third-year wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I think we're handling it pretty well. Coming in as a rookie, I don't think the Lions had any hype really. But from now till then, it's a huge difference, and I'm glad to say that I was a part of it. I was here for it all. I'm just excited. I know this team is. The coaches are. Everyone in this organization is excited for the future, for what's to come, and we got to put the work in at the end of the day. Everyone can say this, that, and the other, but if we don't put the work in each day, it's all for nothing.
Now, if that doesn't sound like the Amon-Ra St. Brown we have come to see and love and grow the last 2 years, I don't know what would. Hard to believe he's already going into season 3. The man is all business when it comes to training and getting better, and I really can't wait to see what this season holds for him. Finally, Aiden Hutchinson was asked to tackle the hype train, if you will, asking if he paid attention to it in the offseason. He had a few different comments about it and about the Lions' perspective.
It's kind of hard not to see it, even we got the TVs on in there and it just pops up, so you see it. And, I think it's smart if a lot of our guys, stay off of it just because, it can get to your head a little bit. But I think we're doing a good job of keeping our mentality and keeping what we've been doing, especially even last year, and building off of it. So I think we're doing a good job with our mentality. We keep that underdog mentality. We haven't won anything yet. So people, obviously there's a lot of expectations. But then again, I think we still feel like the underdogs, There's so much gas going around with our team. It's great, and I got a bunch of buddies who grew up here and stuff, so they love it, and Tracy loves it too. So it's we love all the expectations, all the hype. Isn't it great?
It's great.
It's great, man.
Great.
It's great. It's good to be in this position. So yeah. I don't think we'll ever be the team that will ever embody that kind of arrogant mindset of not putting the work in, because we haven't won a playoff game in 30 years, so it's been so long. So I don't think we'll ever be that team that that stops, putting their foot on the gas and, stops having that underdog mentality. I mean, we're always going to be coming for the top. Even if we're there, I see this team, we're going to keep climbing.
Again, another player talking hard work and acknowledging the Lions haven't won anything yet. I did like to hear how Aiden was joking around with Tracy Walker. Good to see they were having some fun. Hutchinson also talked about hearing it from people he knew all off-season, and that isn't a surprise living and growing up in Michigan. Now with the news of an injury to C.J. Gardner-Johnson, it's a quick reminder to everyone how quickly things can change. I have little to no doubt this team is focused and will continue to be focused. Well, there's some insights from the coach and a few players about the hype train. In the next episode, we're going to discuss it in further detail and talk the realistic part of it as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. Please subscribe to Not the Same Old Lions podcast to get alerts about new episodes. Tell your friends about the show. You can follow me on Twitter at Matt Soltesiak. The show is also available on YouTube and at notthesameoldlions.com. Until next time, stay gritty, my friends.